So the thing I want to demonstrate is F220, capturing and examining the registry. And so the first thing you need is FTK Imager, and you get it from Xtero, the company that bought Access Data. And as the student was saying, I think when you download it, you're going to have to fill in a form, which is pretty, yep, so you have to fill in the form. However, I think you can just lie. So I can do AABBB@Mailinator. Now, maybe they're too smart to fall for this. Mailinator.com is one of the free disposable email services.
That's the same password on my lineage.
AABBB, yeah. So let's see if they take it. It depends on how picky they are. Thank you for your interest. Oh, and there it comes. Okay, so that was easy. I guess I could put in a totally fake email. You don't even need to check the email. So, yeah, you do have to fill out the form, but they don't appear to enforce that you fill it out with anything other than garbage. And this should always be your reflex on the internet. Always lie. Everybody wants your data, and not for any good reason. Unless they're paying you money, they have no reason to have your data. Anyway, so now this is FTK Imager, and there is the best practice is to put it on a USB stick and run the portable version, but that's not so easy to do in a virtual environment, so we're going to install it. Installing it does a little bit of unnecessary harm to your system, so it's not the best practice, but it'll do for this lab. So I'm just going to install it.
So better to
Have it on, well, yeah, better just have it on a USB stick. You plug it in, and then you run it from the USB stick, so you do the minimum alteration to the system. That's all. By installing it, I'm adding some registry keys and stuff. I'm adding some hard drive files, so I'm doing a little bit of damage to the system just by installing it. But for this project, I'm accepting that. All right, so I'm going to launch the imager. All right, here's glorious FTK Imager. And we're going to catch the registry. Let me go back to my instructions and see if there's anything I should mention here. Okay, now you can view the hide files. Let's take a look at this first. So you become familiar with the registry. If you're not used to it, the registry is pretty confusing at first. If you open Registry Editor, which is regedit, you can see how the registry works. You always need administrator privileges to see it. And it's a folder structure that looks like the tree folder structure on your hard drive, but it's not. These things look like folders, but they're not. It's a database, and the database records are connected to each other, but none of these can ever be empty. That's why you can tell they're not folders. They'll have a default value not set, just so they're not empty, because they really are database records. Anyway, so these are the 5 root hives. And these contain all the information about the settings of your machine, but if you want to know where they're stored on the hard drive, you'll find it in this location, and one easy thing to do is copy that and paste it in up here, which is a whole lot easier than navigating the hard way. There, paste it in, and now I get to this location. HKey local machine system current control set control hive list. They call these things hive files, and there are a bunch of them. It's pretty strange and sort of silly, and I should be able to make this column wider. Here it is. There we go. So you can see the way What's that?
Expand it more?
Yeah, it's the plan. Yeah, I need to be even more. There we go. So here is the hive list. So you have the BCD, which is boot configuration data. That's used to control how the machine boots up. Then you have the security accounts manager, the security file, which includes, I think, the hashed passwords, software, system, and default. It might be in system. I forget. And then you got, and these are the ones that are in Windows System 32. They're not in any user account. So these are the ones used when the machine first boots up, just to get it started, to start the systems, the services that run before you log in. Then when you log in, it'll figure out which user you are, and you'll then go to your ntuser.dat, which is the user profile changes you made for your desktop, your background, your icons, and things like that. And so, and here's userclass.dat, which I think is how a connected 3-letter extensions to programs. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, what's strange is there's a whole bunch of binary files stored all over the disk, and they all contribute to the registry. It's not like those 5 root folders or 5 files. It's not at all that neat. But you get used to it. These are the main ones you want to learn system settings, and also ntuser.dat. So getting a copy of the registry consists of getting a copy of these files, and that's what FTK Imager will do for you. So that's what's going on. So, yeah?
See the missing one.
Missing one?
Yeah, missing one hide. It's AM cache.
Yeah, Mcache is in there. It's not a Hive. It's a subtlety inside the. Yeah, well, I think we'll see Mcache as we go ahead. It's just part of. It's just a subkey in there. I think. Anyway, so we're going to get the FTK Imager will automatically.
Different location.
Okay, I don't think so, but anyway, we'll see if it comes up. We're going to see a bunch of stuff in a few minutes here. So I do File, Obtain Protected Files. This, I can now get the system files. Now this message is super important. There was a case in court where a guy was accused of viewing porn, and the forensic examiner went there to say this guy was viewing porn, and the other examiner said, no, you used FTK Imager, right? And you clicked and you didn't read this message. That porn was on your system, not the evidence system. This is going to obtain the files from the windows that I'm running FTK Imager on, not from some image of a disk I'm examining. So that's what's warning you here. And that's what we want in this case. So we'll put it somewhere like on the desktop. Well, there we are, desktop. And all right, I'll just say make new folder. There we are, and call it rename. There we are, rename. All right, Reg. There. There's a folder called Reg on my desktop. Nope, and it called it new folder anyway. That's Microsoft for you. Desktop. Reg. Okay. Okay. There, now I finally made it to the right file. Okay, now you could get the minimum files, but I'll just get password recovery and all registry files to get the whole registry here. That's the idea. So I click OK, and now it goes, and it's not a very big thing. The registry is not that big. It's like maybe 20 or 30 megs. So it's done. Now I've got a copy of the registry on my desktop. Now, if you try to see it, you probably can't. Here's the folder. If you open the folder, you may or may not see all the files in here. Go in Users, and you see SAM and weird things, but you never saw like ntuser.dat. And the reason is they're hidden files. You have to go into your View settings, and you have to show hidden files, and you have to show protected operating system files, which there used to be a separate setting for that, and maybe Microsoft has moved them somewhere. We'll see. Now I'm seeing these files. Now if I go into Users and SAM, now I see ntuser.dat. Okay, so I think you have to, if you want to see these files, that's what you have to do. Now, let me go back to my project instructions. So you've made the registry image, and then you have to show system files to see it. All right. So now we're going to analyze it with Autopsy. We'll make a new case, and we'll import the registry image and treat it as logical files. Okay? So it's Autopsy. Again, there used to be a bunch of special tools used just for registry analysis, but now it's all in Autopsy, making our lives much easier. Let me check for comments while this is going. All right, good. Somebody got in. All right. All right. Now, all I did on this one was disable the Windows Update service, and I thought Microsoft would punch through that, but they don't seem to punch through it yet, so. All right, so now I make a new case and call it Reg. All right, and next, and give it a number of Reg and finish.
I think you have to disable the update 2 more places.
There are a lot of places. You can do it in group policy. You can do it by making,
In the registry.
you can do it in the registry, a few places too. There's a lot of tricks. The simplest one is to disable the service, but it doesn't always work. None of them always work.
No, you have to disable two.
Oh,
It's not one.
oh, that might be why. Good.
It's a try in S37.
Yeah, good.
Keep on showing the update. Okay.
But those are Windows 10, right? I think it's
Yeah.
different for Windows 10 and Windows 11.
Yeah, they keep on showing up the update, so I
Yeah.
got annoyed.
Yeah.
To remember and change to the registry.
Yep. Anyway, we should be able to put the registry in here pretty soon.
So when you need the Kahoot music.
It would be good. Yeah, it doesn't provide music for you. That'd be good. They should do that. That should be the standard. They should play elevator music while you're waiting. That would be-
Music.
Yeah,
Jeopardy music.
yeah. Soft keyword search service. Well, for large cases, this may take a long time. It's an empty case. How long can it take you to make a keyword search index with 0 entries? Apparently a long time. Perhaps Microsoft has now decided to put on the updates or something. Let's see. They did put Task Manager back here. They took it off in an earlier version of Windows 11 and everybody complained. Yeah, the CPU is busy doing,
Doing the task manager.
well, yeah, that's not reassuring. Then Autopsy is most of it. Okay, it's Autopsy and it's not updates or anything. So I think it's okay. Yeah, good. Okay. Well, it's a very nice tool, even though it runs a bit slow. I think I'm running it with weak resources. They would like you to run it on a really powerful Windows machine, of course. And here I got a virtual machine with what, maybe 2 or 4 gigs of RAM. And it's running on ARM hardware, so it might be passing through some kind of virtual simulation. I'm not sure. I think not. I think compiled code will still make the same API calls, but I'm not really sure. Okay, so select host. I don't care about the host name. Okay, here it is logical files, and let me just go to the instructions to make sure I'm doing it right. It's logical files. Next, go to the folder. And next, okay, so it's logical files next, then add desktop, reg, select, next, and probably just leave everything checked as harmless, then next, all right. All right, and finish. And in the corner, it says starting ingest. And there it goes. All right. Yep. Switch moving. And complaining about something. 16%. Okay, good. All right, that's moving. So let me just go look at the instructions. So what it's going to do now is it's going to show me the registry up here. And I'll be able to navigate through it and then see the parts down here. So I can go to the intuser.dat and see things. So the first thing I'm going to do is view User Assist in this location. Root, Software, Microsoft Windows, down to User Assist. This is where it records programs the user has launched and when, and how many times it was launched. So let's see if it's ready. If I go here, data sources, logical file set, Reg, there it is. All right, so if I go here, there I see the default SAM security software and so on. And the first thing I want to do, I think, is go to User Assist. So in the, I want to go to the name of the user here, and then go to ntuser.dat. So let me do that. The name of the user is Sam. All right, and now here's the ntuser.dat. And so when I highlight that file, down here in this pane, it'll now let me explore it like regedit. The only difference is I don't have the whole registry. I only have the part of the registry that was stored in the ntuser.dat file. And so now, in this region, I want to go to Root Software Microsoft Windows, Root Software Microsoft Windows, current version Explorer User Assist. You have to get used to digging through this mess. Current version Explorer and User Assist. There. Okay. There are 9 subkeys, and if I expand them, I can see these 9 subkeys with these long random numbers. These are called globally unique identifiers, which, as always, they are not globally unique, but that's Microsoft. Everything's always named the opposite of what it is. Anyway, now you have to go till you find a subkey that has a number that is not 0. So let's take a look. If I highlight the first subkey, then the number is 1. So this one is good. This one has 1. Looks like they all have 1. Maybe I'm just not expanding it far enough. Let me take a look at the instructions again, because most of them are usually 0. Oh yeah, you expand it and then look at the count inside. Okay, so let's try that. If I expand this and look at the count inside, now it's 0. And I need to find one of them that is not 0. You have to hunt through here. Since it's a virtual machine you haven't been using very much, these are the programs you've launched, and not too many of them have got records here being launched, but there will be some that are not 0. Or so I thought. This one. Yep, this one expands to something else. There's definitely stuff in there. Number of values, 79. Okay, this one's been used. This is probably something like Internet Explorer or Firefox or something I use a lot. So, all right. Find a subkey containing program names. You'll see that they are unreadable. This is one of the unbelievable things about Microsoft. To protect your privacy, they record every program you launch, and then they encrypt it with ROT13, which is something like so simple they couldn't put it on the Captain Crunch decoder ring. They move every letter, 13 letters in the alphabet. So this is ROT13. You can reverse that a million ways. Let's just use an online website. If I go to find a ROT13 online, all right, here's one, rot13.com. All right, and so if I go to autopsy, see there's something that appears a lot, ZVP-EB, and you can see what that is. That's micro. It's going to be Microsoft Internet Explorer or something. That's what ROT13 is. ZVP-EB is the start of Microsoft. So these are the names of all the programs you've launched and when they were launched in ROT13 encryption, which is pretty silly. And there are some registry analysis tools that will do the ROT13 conversion for you, but this tool doesn't. Anyway, that's what's going on here. You're seeing it. That's one of the more hilarious things to see Microsoft actually using ROT13 as if it was some form of encryption. And there's a flag defined here showing you got this far. I think that's the only one. There are other ones here that are really important in real work, like one that shows every USB stick you've plugged in, but in the virtual machine there aren't any. But that's one of the ones you look at first in a real investigation, because if you did a subpoena with a search warrant to get the computer, then you find all the storage devices have been plugged in and you write another search warrant to get them, because obviously they're also part of the case. And that's why the first thing you do is go here and look, and it lists all the USB devices that have ever been plugged in. So it tells you the serial number, the brand name, and everything. It's a ridiculous amount of information. And so that's handy. And there's a lot more in the registry, but this is the only one that I put in this project. So that's what I wanted to show you. And I'm going to stop the recording.